Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. What a week it has been.
It has been a week.
Before we get started, quick, it's a no free shout outs pod, but I got to shout this out, bro. The Blue Sea, what is it? Sea Blue Red Bull.
Sea Blue. Is that the flavor?
Yeah, it's the flavor Sea. I think it used to be summer, but now it's Sea Blue.
Yeah.
This Red Bull right here is so fucking good, bro. And you know me, I'm not a big coffee guy. So whenever it's like midway through the day, bro, and you just need a little pick me up or you just need like some kind of little boost of energy, like before the gym or, lunch break, you're like fucking dying, No, this Red Bull's been saving my life all week. I almost made it my damn win of the week.
Okay.
I've been drinking this like my fifth Red Bull this week.
This is the first Red Bull commercial, I guess.
Yeah. Like I said, no free shout outs, but this Red Bull right here, boy, I had to shout it out this week.
I like, I don't really drink Red Bull like that. I do drink coffee, but coconut Red Bull, that shit is so good.
Do you really like that? See, I've tried it. I'm not a huge fan.
It's so good. And I poured it in a cup one time, and the color of it, it's like a neon blue. Definitely shouldn't be drinking it probably, and I don't, but it looks like antifreeze.
Yeah.
I almost said antifreeze. Antifreeze.
Do you ever, whenever you're drinking anything coconut, the first thing that comes to mind for me is it tastes like I'm drinking like melted down surf wax.
It's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say pina colada.
Okay, yeah, pina colada too a little bit, but for me, it's like when we're always surfing, it's the coconut surf wax.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're smelling the whole time you're in the water. And, like people that have surfed with me and Joey know, like I'll be picking the wax off my board sometimes.
And eating it.
Not eat it, but, chew it a little bit, right? Just like some gum, just like something just to kind of just stay stimulated in the ocean. And every time I try that coconut Red Bull, that's the exact like image that comes to my mind. It's like I'm drinking surf wax.
You just made me think about when we're paddling out and we have wax, but we don't have pockets, and we have to duck dive and we put it in our mouth.
Yeah.
Do you ever still have gaps around your mouth when you have the wax in your mouth and you're underwater and choke on water?
Oh, dude, 100%.
This shit sucks.
What sucks the most is when if you go you have the gaps in your mouth, so you squeeze your mouth a little bit harder. I've got a permanent retainer in, so then I'll spend the entire session out there, bro, with pulling wax pulling wax out of my teeth and shit, and just trying to, dude. It's there. Someone needs to come up with an invention where you can put the surf wax, attach it to your board somewhere, and know it's not going to get lost, but know it's also not going to fuck up the way that you surf, if that makes sense. Because if you put it on the bottom or try to stick it,
make a pocket on the nose,
dude. That'd be sick.
Just
because dude, you don't really even need the open face of the top of the board, where the nose is. You don't need that, bro. Yeah. Honestly, we could totally put a pocket there. But how was your week, man?
It was a long week. Work is tough, but it's over. Happy to be here,
dude. Happy Saturday.
How was your week?
It was long. Same thing.
Yeah.
A lot of just a lot of big changes going on in my life right now, bro. And it's just one of those things where when it's good to have that good support system, right? And just keep healthy vibes around you at all times, and just stay in that good mindset, bro, because there's times when life will beat your ass down, you know what I mean, and life just hits a little bit harder, and it's you're just trying to do everything you can to stay afloat, it feels like. But no, man, being able to get on here and just chat with my brother,
shoot the shit,
and just enjoy, have a little bit of hour of no phone, just meeting a dope individual, talking with them for a little bit, hanging out with my best friend, just doing the usual, man. That's it really helps just solidify the week. You know what I mean? And make it takes away from a lot of the negativity that goes on throughout the week, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, man, should we jump into win of the week?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get this shit popping. So win of the week, this is episode 87. Meant to say that at the beginning. Episode 87. So we have 13 episodes left of season 2. Shout out to everyone who's been rocking with us, man. The YouTube numbers have been going wild. Last week's I'm sorry. When this comes out, it's going to be 2 weeks ago's episode. Dude, it's now our second most viewed episode of season 2. So shout out to everyone that checked out that episode. We love you guys.
That was Jeremy Ryan, wasn't it?
That was Jeremy Ryan. So shout out to the man Jeremy Ryan, but also shout out to just the listeners, bro, and the people that have been fucking with these episodes. If there's a specific episode that any of you listeners specifically or a episode that you enjoyed for whatever reason it is, dude, shoot us an email, shoot us a DM, let us know
why.
Yeah, 100%, because we want to make these episodes as entertaining for the viewers as possible.
Was I holding the orange in that episode?
You were.
Shit, that's probably it.
Good luck, right? That's good luck. No, man, win of the week. You start us off this week.
My win of the week, little corny, but it's the longer days that are coming, bro. Ooh. It's already starting to get a little longer, and I'm noticing on my drive home from work, it's not as dark. It's still dark because I'm working long ass hours, but it's not as dark, and it's just so exciting because that means golf after work is coming
for sure.
Surfing after work is coming.
For sure.
Fishing after work is coming.
Is there a little bit of a sense of like, do you almost feel like your day, like you have more hours in the day when the sun is up for longer? Because that's how I feel, man. Like whenever you get home and it's like dark at 5 p.m., bro, that shit.
I might as well go to bed. Like,
100%. It feel like mentally my brain is like, oh, it's 8:30.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's not. And lately, like I think, maybe not last night. What night was it? There was one night I noticed it, bro. It was like I looked at the clock and it was like 6:45 and it was just now getting dark. And I'm like, what is going on, man? I love it. Yeah, I honestly love it because then, you get out of work, you feel like you've got more time to do shit. For me, I'll trade a few hours in the morning of darkness for a few hours in the afternoon of daylight all day.
It could be dark all day while I'm at work if I could get some sunlight after work.
100%, bro. That's exactly.
I got flashlights.
So that's a good win of the week.
Appreciate you.
I will give you that. That is a solid win of the week for sure.
What's yours?
My win of the week. So a little bit sentimental. I'm trying to get to, emotional on this one. But so this week, everyone that knows me and is close friends with me or whatever knows that I've been trying to make some changes in my life. Mental health, physical health. I've really, like there was, I think that not a lot of people realize, but like we all have addictions, whether it's, just being addicted to your phone or being addicted to, smoking pot or drinking or whatever it is, everyone's got like their own things, especially in our friend group, our select like group of friends, we all have our own things that we kind of are like,
nicotine
for sure. That was a big one for me. And I think that, for a while there were substances that kind of controlled my life. I felt like I couldn't have a good time without kind of engaging in these substances before I would go out and do something or before, like, dude, if we wanted to go do anything, I mean, you remember how it was. It was getting tough. And I also had a lot of things going on and just on my, like, in life in general that would kind of just, like, stack up on top of that. And then it would kind of, like, cause me to kind of, like, run towards the substance in a way, you know what I mean? Just kind of
an easy escape.
Easy escape for sure, because you feel like all your problems kind of go away whenever you get a little bit of nicotine in your life or you smoke a little bit or drink a little bit, whatever the case may be, and I'm not going to get too like deep into the details and everything like that. But the people that know me know that I've been making some really good strides in my life to just kind of, just
be healthier
and take control of my own life, bro, and wake up in the morning and not have that fogginess and not be like, damn, what went down last night or how, just there's certain times, bro, where I don't feel like I'm in my prime. We've even had guests on the show before where it's a big time guest, but I'm sitting there and I'm like not fully there. Yeah. It's so hard to explain, but it's like when we're sitting here having this conversation, like right now, me and you, I'm so locked in. Like everything you're saying, I'm registering. Yeah. I know you fucking do too. Oh no, but it's one of those things where everything's registering. You say something, I immediately am registering what you're saying and then coming up with a good response. When you're kind of cloudy or like, there's that fog, like that mental fog that's going on. It's almost like you would say something, but I've got so many thoughts going on inside my head that like, I do know what you're saying. And
you're not thinking straight.
I'm not thinking straight at all. You're thinking that's 100%.
A little wavy.
It's a windy road.
A little groovy.
For sure. But no, man, my win of the week just goes out to, we've all got them. Those friends that you can just fall back on, man, like yourself. Like, thank you so much, bro, for just being there for me throughout this week. And just, I mean, over the past 2 weeks, man, it's just one of those things, dude. It's like, it's having a good support system is everything. And, as a man and as a just human in general, you want to be able to handle shit on your own, right? And you want to be the fucking boss that can just like, a problem comes up, you handle it. You don't talk to people about it, like especially with being a man, bro. It's like you don't want to talk about your feelings. You don't want to.
We're kind of taught like you can't, like you
hide
can't.
Your emotions. Yeah. You know how it goes, man. And no, when I got a good support system and I got my boys like like yourself and just the guys that we hang out with on a weekly basis. Man, I feel so comfortable with you guys to be able to just tell you exactly how I'm feeling and like vent. Like, dude, I felt really bad when we went to the gym. I think it was like 2 days ago. And I was just venting for like the first 30 minutes because I was just like, there's so much shit on my brain. But in reality, bro, like we left that gym session and I was just like, bro, I feel so good.
Yeah. And that's what I'm here for. I always got your back.
Dude, yeah, and I appreciate it, bro. So seriously, thank you so much for everything you do. You've made this process for me so easy. And you also like keep me motivated to keep going, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? A lot of friends, bro, like, let's be honest, you know, back in the day, if you're smoking a J, or if you're drinking or whatever, no one wants to do that shit alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you've got a buddy, especially a friend that you've been engaging with this stuff in for so long, I can understand how it's tough to like watch your buddy be like, all right, I'm going to step away from some of this stuff. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, it just got to a point, you know, my situation, I didn't have a ton of control of my own life. And that was starting to drive me crazy. It was causing a lot of insecurities in my life because I really wanted to take charge of, I wanted to get in the gym and actually be consistent in there. I don't want to keep eating fucking, you know, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, every day, bro. Yeah. Taco Bell, like these fucking like now that I am not in the chokehold of some of these substances, I've come to learn that I don't actually like these foods, if that makes sense. It was more so just the cravings you have, the addiction to like whatever's in those kind of processed foods that kind of make you want more of it, if that makes sense. No, man. So
Munchies. Sorry.
1,000%. 1,000%, brother. So no, I'm glad I was able to keep that together, but I just appreciate you a lot, man. I appreciate, you know, all the boys that are in my life, everyone that supports me with this fucking podcast, everyone that, has just seen that I've been going through some shit, but just been there just to slow clap along the way. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. Just like, you know, I don't need anyone to be over there like, oh, I got your back and I'm here for you and all this stuff, yada, yada. I just need people to know that.
Just be there.
Just be there. I'm going through something. It's like we all go through phases of life where it gets a little bit tough. Life hits a little bit harder. And I'm going to get through it just like everyone else gets through it. But it's just one of those things where having that support system makes it so smooth and so easy, bro. So shout out to you, man. Honestly, shout out to the fucking boy. Fucks with you, bro. For real. But for the people,
shout out to Nick for having his awakening,
dude.
It's about to change. It's about to be a whole new man.
I'm already a fucking unit. It's been 5 days, just me. You know what I mean? Like 5 days where I don't need really anything else. Like I don't wake up in the morning and crave anything. I'm not like, you know, throwing a Zen in or doing, you know. There were times where I felt like if I would run out of something.
I got a Zen in right now.
No way.
I swear.
But see, you control it very well. Let's be honest. Like you control like a lot of the substances that you intake. You have control over yourself and over your own body. We were just talking about it the other day. There's times where you don't even hit the fucking vape. Like you'll go like almost half the day and not even notice you haven't hit your vape.
Sometimes I don't even bring that bitch to work.
100%. And so for me, that wasn't the case. Not necessarily with vaping, but you know, like there were certain things, bro, where it was just like I did not have control over my own life. Like let's just be honest, you know, and it controlled me. Instead of, I don't know if you made this comment or someone else, but instead of me smoking it was smoking me, if that makes sense.
Was getting smoked.
100%, bro. And I was just getting so worn out. And, you know, this is a change I've been wanting to make. Like, just sidebar for all the people, too. I'm not getting sober. You know, like I'm sober right now. And
I was just about to ask, like, are you done forever? Like, or is this just like a little, like,
no,
just checking yourself?
Brother, I just need to get control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because my biggest thing is, for a while, I felt like if I cut these things out of my life, I wasn't going to be the same person. I wasn't going to be happy. I wasn't going to enjoy life. I was going to have even more problems piled up on shit. Bro, the amount of problems that have been eliminated from my life just from cutting these things out is absolutely, I mean, it's incredible, bro. And I will say this. I cannot wait to get back to just like having a drink with the boys. You know what I mean? And just like, you know, having a good night or whatever, finishing up, smoke something with the boys, or just like, you know,
I'm going to be honest with you. I support you in everything you do. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be waiting for you right on the other side.
Brother.
Just sit here, wait.
And I appreciate you for that. Cause I want to come back to it on my own terms, if that makes sense.
True.
I want to go back to it, but it's still, bro, do you remember like 17, 18 years old, me and you, when we first became friends, we're first hanging out and shit.
We're 25, 26 now.
100%. And so this has been years, man. When we first became friends, do you remember how fun that shit was?
That shit was crazy.
It was like, bro, if we're going to have a drink together, bro, it's like it's a fun time. If we're going to, you know, roll something up with the boys, it's like you got all the guys together and you're hanging out at your buddy's house.
And we were always together. That's the fun part.
100%. And it was always like it was like a treat, like a celebration. Like you're not doing this every day. You're just like having fun on the weekends with the boys. You know, it's just like a good time. And I felt like that aspect of it really left the room for me. And it would just kind of turn into like, no, I need this to function type shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't a huge fan of how everything was going with that. I'm stretching this week out pretty long, but There's a lot that I go through. It's good to get it all out, man.
Yeah.
Just for everyone that's hearing this and thinking, oh, Nick's getting sober, never see me at the bars again. Like, bro, I'm still going out.
He's still going
out. I just want to be on my own terms, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I want to be able to feel like if I want to go out or I want to do something, 1 or 2 drinks is enough. You know what I mean?
True.
I don't have to go the whole way. There's not like a finish line I'm trying to get to. It's like, let's just go out and just have a good time and just live life, you know? And I would also notice that whenever, even if we would go out and do something fun that doesn't have to do with any of this, you know, negative substances or anything like that, surfing, golfing's a huge one. Dude, just in general, bro, like recording this fucking podcast, playing Madden, like doing stuff like, you know, just with the boys hanging out. I like being able to do those things without having to do anything else beforehand, if that makes sense. Not feeling like I have to have my mind in a certain state
you don't have to operate. Be like that is your stimulation.
To have fun. Yeah. Like I don't want to be playing Madden and it's like, you know, 3 minutes into the fucking first quarter and I'm already like, hey, you want to, you know, step outside? Yeah. Like, so, no, I'm just, for everyone knows, you know, that knows me, I'm on a really good path right now. I feel like a fucking unit, bro. I will say that. Like when I'm in the gym, I've got one goal and that is to lift heavy ass weight as much as possible.
That boy's looking shredded already.
I appreciate you. And the thing is, I knew all of this. Like I know how to get big in the gym. I know, like we've done it before, bro. Like there was a time when we were fucking like animals in the gym. And, you know, I just kind of lost a lot of that drive and a lot of that hunger. And there was other things that I was more so like craving and hungrier for.
Chick-fil-A
for sure. Taco Bell. But no, dude, I'm feeling good. That is my win of the week. Probably one of my best win of the weeks of season 2. Just feeling like, dude, I don't need this shit in my life, but I do still want it in my life, but I want it to be on my own terms, how I want to do it. So no, man, I'm super proud of myself. I'm super grateful for people like you that support me through this process, man. So shout out to you.
Congratulations. And I'm proud of you too. And so is all the boys. We're all proud of you. We're happy for you, man.
Thank you, dude. Yeah. And I don't mean to get so deep, you know, to start off this fucking great episode because it's going to be a fire ass episode, but I had to let the listeners know because people are going to be noticing that, you know, there's a little bit of a different version of Nick on this show now. Maybe just a little bit more self-aware, maybe just a little bit better questions, maybe just better headspace in general. But no, everyone that's reached out, everyone that's kind of helped me through this process, you know who you are. I fucking love you guys. And thank you for everything, bro. Honestly. Is there anything else you want to go ahead and jump into this episode?
Well, I feel like my win of the week being longer days. Should I have elaborated a little bit? You know, there's butterflies and bees. And they all come out and fly. I love watching them. And then, you know, longer walks on the beach make me feel good. That's all I got.
I will say, dude, the longer days one definitely applied more to me this week too, because you're not spending so much of your time kind of doing other little shit just to stay busy type thing. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think that's a great win of the week, brother. But no, today's episode, if you guys have already seen the guest, super unique guest today. We're another opportunity, just like last week, for us to kind of flex our muscles, show our versatility. You know, like everyone knows, we'll have anybody on this damn show. It doesn't matter religion. It doesn't matter race. It doesn't matter your occupation. It doesn't matter how you get to your fucking bag.
You have to be cool, though.
You got to be a dope motherfucker. Yeah. And, you know, as long as you're a cool guy that can elaborate, or gal.
Or girl.
Girl, anything, you know, even though the girls' episodes usually don't perform as well.
Don't say that.
I don't know why. I don't know why. A few of them have actually done
a
really
few
well.
of them
There's specific
They've
ones.
came back up.
I think just with me and you being guys, like sometimes people come to this podcast to look for just like a boys conversation type shit. You know what I mean? Because the conversation is always going to be different depending on who you've got on here. But no, for one thing, we will interview anybody on this show, and this is just kind of another example of that today. So, man, shout out to everyone that's, you know, tuned into this episode. This is episode 87 of the OG Sessions podcast, man. You ready to jump into it?
Let's do it.
Let's get this shit popping. What up, OGs? Episode 87 going down right now. I'm here with the man himself, Joey Allen.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, Mr. Joey Allen?
Happy to be here.
Hey, I gotta let you know, brother, that merch looks pretty good on you, man.
Appreciate you. I like it.
What'd you think? A couple of different colorways?
It looks good on you.
So, you know, big guest today. I'm super excited about today's guest. This is kind of like we were saying in the intro, an opportunity for us to flex our muscles again. You know, we're not really the type to collaborate or work with like a brand or someone that's kind of just half-assing it. You know, I mean, we want the big dogs on the show. And when it comes to food trucks and when it comes to just people that are making a splash in the city in general, today's guest is one of those people. So I'm super excited for it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the owner of Hotbox Pretzels, the man himself, Roman Desmond.
Thank you.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, thanks for having me out.
Dude, it's a pleasure. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
I appreciate you bringing the merch, too.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to rock it on the show,
gotta get
man.
everyone the merch.
So, you know, I just want to dive right into it, man, because, you know, with this journey and everything that you've created with Hotbox Pretzels, and you have a partner as well, right?
Yes.
So I don't want to leave him out. That's
Blake Spear.
Blake Spear. Okay. You know, I think from the outside looking in, you can kind of get an idea of what Hotbox Pretzels is. Two young dudes that are trying to make dough while making dough.
Yeah.
Basically.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I think that I stole that from your bio or something.
The Instagram bio.
But definitely a really cool, you know, kind of journey that you guys have had, man. Let's speak on that a little bit. How did this idea come about for you?
So it started with me and Blake. We were bussing tables and running food at TPC Sawgrass. They sold these giant pretzels there. We would be running the food. They would get super, super busy there. So they would sell like 50, 60 of these giant pretzels per night. And every time I would bring them, they would have them on these nice big like wooden stands, and they would be hanging on the pretzels. So we'd walk through the restaurant holding these big pretzels, and every table is just like staring at you. You'd go put it down on the table, and these people would take their phones out immediately. Pictures, posing with it, taking pictures of it, smiling, laughing. Everyone knew this place for their pretzels.
Yeah.
And they actually don't even have the pretzel on the menu. It's like, I don't know if they just like don't make enough of them.
Pull the mic a little bit closer, just a tad bit. You're good. Perfect.
You got to know somebody to get a pretzel or something?
So it's most people like know that they have the pretzel. If you go there a lot, you know, just from seeing it walk through the restaurant.
For sure.
Right. Like a lot of people, like one will get ordered, and then people will be like, oh, where's that? And then they'll all start ordering it. So they would sell out of these pretzels a lot, and they would hand make them. The chef there would hand make them. So I started watching the chef, and I was like, oh, we got to do this. Like, my neighbor, he had a barbecue food truck. And he'd been doing that for about 2 years now. And we'd see him come home from these events, and he'd be like, oh, I just did this event, made like $5,000 tonight.
Yeah.
$4,000 from this event. So I was like, all right, we got to start a pretzel one. We started making recipes in our kitchen, just like random, just looking up on Google, like pretzel recipes. Started making them in the kitchen. It didn't really work too good because our oven wasn't getting hot enough to actually make the pretzels. So we got like a good dough, and I kind of looked up like what a good dough is versus a bad dough and how to know if it's going to cook right. And then we went down and found our commissary that we cook at, and we just did like a week trial there. And we started making the pretzels there. It was a disaster at first.
Why?
We tried to do way too big of a batch at first and just like ended up wasting a bunch of dough and like couldn't do it fast enough because the dough rises really fast. So it'll start off about this big when it comes out of the mixer. If you leave it for about 30 minutes, it's about like
no way
this big.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it rises super fast. So like when we're rolling them, when we take it out, we got to do it. We got to move fast because it rises super fast.
Got you.
So the first time we didn't know that, and it was a disaster, and we didn't really even know how to make them at all. So it took a couple tries. And then even for the first couple months of us actually selling them, they weren't even close to what they are now.
For sure. And how many months did it take for you guys to kind of perfect this recipe to where you're like, okay, now we're ready to actually give this to the market?
So we were waiting on our food truck license for a while. We got the idea in October of 2022. And we bought the trailer. And like started recipes at the same time. We knew, like, in my mind, we were just going to do it. Like, I was going to figure out how to make the pretzels one way or another before we even really started making them. So we got the trailer, started building it out and testing recipes at the same time. And then we applied for the license once we got it built out and had the plans and everything. And it took until the end of January to get the license.
Of this year or last year?
Of last year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it took around 2.5 months
to
get that license. So we had a bunch of time. We had a bunch of time to figure out the recipe for the pretzels.
Did you like cooking before you started making pretzels?
Yeah, I love cooking.
Because I feel like pretzels is like bread making pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I like to cook.
Because it seems very involved, like with it rising and stuff. Like you have to know a lot to be able to make pretzels, I feel like. And you said your oven didn't get hot enough. Like how hot does the oven have to get?
So it's a 500-degree convection oven that we cook them in.
Okay.
I love cooking. I cook like every night pretty much.
You're only 21 years old.
Yes.
Which is incredible, bro.
Yeah.
Like starting this shit so young, I think that it's a lot of people like when, especially when there's, I mean, I know for me and Joey, when we were 21, starting a business was not,
we were working at Topgolf.
Yeah, 100%. We were just working at Topgolf, bro. And, we did have some little hobbies that we did on the side or whatever. But, dude, I applaud you for just, chasing a dream and just kind of going after something. And the business model, we've had so many guests on the show where they've got a great idea, no business model. No real plan, if we're being honest. And just the way, looking at you guys from the outside in, I'm sure there's struggles and there's things that you learn along the way and reps that you have to get to where you want to be. But, dude, just looking at it from the outside, I mean, the business model is incredible, man.
Thank you.
We spoke on it a little bit before we started recording. There's really no one in the city that does the pretzel thing.
There's not.
Which is so unusual because it's such a widely
loved food.
Everyone loves pretzels, bro. Who the fuck hates pretzels? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everyone loves pretzels. So that's when I saw that, I knew I had to start immediately. When I looked and saw no pretzel food trucks in Jacksonville, even all of Florida, there's a couple in South Florida that I've seen, but they're just like, they're not really trying to grow. I built this with branding in mind and growing in mind and franchising. And
so what's your 5-year plan? What are your goals?
So I don't really like to look that far out just because I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'm always thinking of new ideas and stuff, so, like, it can change.
Dude, you're so fucking young, bro. Like, dude, 21 years
I
old.
know,
Like,
that's crazy.
5 years. I mean, shit, dude, I didn't have a fucking 5-year plan when I was 21.
Like, when I think about a year ago, like, of where I am right now, like, I just don't want to set a plan because I know I'm going to do it. So I don't want to set that plan and then, like, I have to be here this long because I know I'm going to do it. So if I can do it sooner than 5 years, that's awesome.
And life changes too, right, man? Like, your 5-year plan right now might change in the next 2 years, and then you've got a totally different plan. And you may knock out some of those things you had in mind for 5 years. Like, you may knock that shit out in a year, and then before you know it, now 5-year plan. We're talking about a plan that most people would think 10 years, 100%. No, but dude, I applaud you. 21 years old, it's fucking legendary, bro.
Thank you.
When a few things that I want to ask about, because you mentioned branding and things like that. So, hot box pretzels. Are you guys stoners?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's what it seems like. I'm not going to lie.
I was like, I got to ask because it's like, hot box pretzels, it's great branding.
So let me give you a background on the name real quick. The original name, we had no idea for a name. We're just sitting there like, I don't know. Like, we were just throwing around random stuff, just anything that rhymes with pretzel or like alliteration or stuff. We were just thinking of random stuff. And then we took a step back and we're like, let's see what equipment we need first. So the first thing we bought was a hot box, which is about a 5 foot tall, big insulated, it's called a proofing box. So you can actually proof the dough in it as well as we would keep the pretzels in there. But we couldn't keep up with demand with that. So we don't use that anymore. We would keep the pretzels hot inside of there. So we'd have it had 50 or 25 little spaces for the big trays. You'd slide the trays in, so we could keep 100 pretzels in there. But we were selling out of that way too fast.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't keep it stocked. Cause it took a little, that was before we had the ovens. So now we use ovens. It would just get hot in there.
And those are on the truck with you, like the actual ovens themselves. Okay.
Yeah. So now we have ovens and we can make them in 30 seconds versus that you'd have to put in you'd have to put it in 20 minutes before to let it get to that temperature.
Yeah.
And then 100 of them would sit in there, but we were just going through them too fast. So we actually got rid of the hot box. And that's where the name
I
came
love it,
from.
bro. I think it's really cool because it does kind of have, I think a lot of people, it's a great munchy food for one. You know what I mean? So people are into that kind of, lifestyle.
And we kind of, once we got the name, we kind of went into that.
Yeah,
and I just saw an opportunity of there's tons of stoners in Jacksonville. And it's such a good group of people to go after.
For sure. They're very hungry.
Yeah.
And I will say, I did have the opportunity to try 3 of the pretzels that you guys make. Absolutely killer, bro.
Thank you.
So I tried the pizza one. I tried the jalapeno and is it jalapeno cheddar?
Jalapeno cheddar, yeah.
And then just normal with queso.
Yeah, the salted with queso.
And I mean, dude, fucking legendary. They were all so good, dude. I think my personal favorite was the jalapeno cheddar.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say this: the pizza one is almost like an acquired like when I first bit into the pizza one, you're expecting it to just taste like pizza dough, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's pretzel dough. And so when you first kind of bite into it, like you have this, your brain is thinking, okay, pizza dough, it's going to taste like a breadstick kind of with whatever, but it doesn't have that. You kind of got to get used to it being a pretzel. And then after like those 3 or 4 bites, bro, it's solid.
Yeah, and it's also different from any other pretzel places that do the pizza ones because they actually don't use a red sauce, most of them.
Really?
Like if you go to Auntie Anne's and get their pizza pretzel, they take the dough, they dip the dough, like the raw dough, and they put it in like these little cut up pieces of cheese. So the cheese sticks in the dough, and then they put pepperonis on it, and then they bake it with the dough.
And
so
no
like,
red sauce?
No red sauce.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that kind of, did you know about that going into it when you were creating the pizza one?
Yeah.
You're like, we
I've
want to
done
have
a
the red
bunch of
sauce.
research on every other pretzel company.
I love it, bro.
Pretty much,
yeah.
yeah.
I feel like you got to. You got to do your due diligence before.
Yeah, I listened to something from Mark Cuban, and he said if someone knows more than you in your industry, then you're not going to make it. So you have to know everything in your industry.
When you first started doing this, was it just the one kind of pretzels, like salted pretzels with queso?
So it was salted and cinnamon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and that was before we got the oven.
Gotcha.
Because for the pizza and the jalapeno cheddar, we top those and then put it in the oven. So it's like making a fresh pizza.
It does taste very fresh.
Yeah. So we make those fresh to order.
That's awesome.
When we started, we didn't have the oven, so it was just salted and cinnamon.
I don't want to get too into your process because I know there's obviously going to be tons of competition out here listening to this shit with the way you guys are moving. But basically it's you have the pretzel and it's just a plain pretzel ready to go, and then you top it with the way the customer orders it when they order. And I think that's super dope. It allows you to have a super versatile menu.
Super customizable on people if they want little salt, no salt, a lot of salt. Where a lot of these places you'll get a pretzel and have like a pound of salt on it, and then you're like brushing off all this salt, where people will say, oh, little salt. Okay, we'll just put a little bit of salt on it, or extra salt, because we do it all right there.
I really wanted to try the cinnamon one. That was one is it called cinnamon? What is it?
Cinnawaf.
I wanted to try that shit so bad. So let's jump into this. So Whaff, you mentioned that. It's WHAFF.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yep.
What the fuck is a Whaff? Because that's the logo, man. And when you buy the pretzels, Joey didn't have the opportunity, but when you buy the pretzels, it's a W.
It's a W shape. So I'll do the W shape first. So when we were delivering these pretzels to tables, the number one question I would get is, how do I eat it? People wouldn't know how to eat this giant circular shaped pretzel and rip it off, and it was weird to dip in the queso and all this stuff. So I wanted to think of something simpler. So the W in form is 3 or 4 pretzel sticks. So it's shareable. So people can eat it. It's easy to dip in the queso. Because when we started, it was just like the salted with queso was the main one. And it still is. We sell way more of that one than any other. Like it's not even comparable. For every 10 pretzels, I would say 8 of them are salted with queso.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That one's way more popular.
So that's number one seller.
By far.
Okay.
I would not have expected that. That's awesome. Is that your personal favorite as well? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was the one they had at TBC, and I would... Every time, like, one would get a little burnt or something in the kitchen, they would leave it over the side, and I would eat, like, the whole thing.
So this was kind of like a nostalgia for you before you even started doing this. Like, because you've been eating these pretzels at TPC for so long. You're like, I kind of want to have my own, like...
And that's kind of how I saw the vision, was because I love these pretzels so much. No one else would really look, like, if they didn't like the pretzel that much.
That's so crazy. You loved the pretzel so much, you built a business on it.
Yeah.
I love these so much. I'm going to eat them every day.
That's how it should be, though, man. Like, get into something you love, Don't just, like, try to get into it for the money. Like, some people do it for... Like,
I mean, if I didn't like pretzels, I would hate it.
Right,
sure.
Yeah.
And, the Whaff portion of it. So, like, what the fuck is a Whaff?
It's just a word we came up with just randomly. I don't even know. We were in Tallahassee, just having fun with some of our friends, and the word waft came up. Like in science, like when you waft something, it's like of how you smell something. Like with chemicals, you like put the container away from you and you go like that. Yeah, instead of like putting your nose in it.
Oh,
to smell
gotcha.
it.
Okay.
And then it kind of just, the word transformed and the word just kept getting said.
Yeah.
And we were all just like laughing about it in Tallahassee. And then when we got home, we were like thinking about it. And then I thought of the W-shaped pretzel and I was like, let's just call it a Whaff.
Yeah.
And now it's pretty funny because people will ask us what it means and we just come up with all these crazy stories. And there's no real story, but everyone hears a different story.
100%. Yeah. I think
funny.
that's so cool, man.
Yeah.
It's got to be, it's good to have that like branding too, right? Where it's like, if anyone's saying like, oh, I'm craving a Whaff right now or whatever it is, like.
So it's funny, down in Nocatee, which is like, you guys know about Knockade?
sure, yeah.
Yeah, so we do a bunch of events down there. They have like a huge food truck Friday. We actually went there last night. It was super, super busy.
Really?
And like that whole Knockade area like knows about the Waff. It's hilarious.
Waff.
Yeah,
That's
like
a great community to get into. Also,
is.
a lot of families in there. Like
is,
I can
yeah.
see Whaffs.
It's growing too. Like it's
sure.
getting huge.
I think maybe next Friday that might be the move.
Oh, I'm there.
Good.
Yeah.
Go get us a little Waff because Joey still needs to try a Waff, man.
Yeah.
And they're solid as
Yeah.
fuck, bro. I've been talking to them all week about how great they are, and I think that the concept is really unique. I love that you guys kind of have your own like name for it. I think, like,
and that was the main thing too, is I didn't just want to do a normal pretzel shape. Like, yeah, it's more traditional. It'll probably be a little easier on us than doing these giant W pretzels. But like when people walk around a festival with a giant W pretzel, like people are like, "What is that?"
for sure.
What
yeah.
are you holding? Like,
They wanna go
where-
get it.
Yeah, where can I get that? So like, it's pretty funny. We notice like if we're a little slower at a festival, like not like a line or anything, and then the second we get like a little line, and then these people walk away with their pretzels, we get so busy.
Really?
Yeah, like we can notice a huge difference.
You should just
from-
walk around. Like if you're ever dead, just make
walk
one and
around.
you just walk
Yeah.
around with it.
So whenever you guys run out, if you're at a festival or if you're at an event or whatever, when you run out, you're out.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
And if you don't mind me asking, what is the max amount of pretzels you guys could take to an event? If let's say you had to max it out, brother.
So the most we've sold in one day is 700.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. And what's like the average price point for these pretzels?
12 to 16.
So let's fucking go, dude.
That's some numbers
I
right
mean,
there.
brother, you gotta love that, brother. Let's fucking go,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, so that was down at the Oktoberfest, down at the beach.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, that event was crazy.
I think 904 Pop-Up was where I tried yours. And
Yeah.
you guys had a line. The whole time I was there, I'd keep passing by every time there's a line.
That was actually one of the busier ones. It was like a new year. They kind of put some new branding on it, so it was pretty good.
That's awesome, man. So you show up. What is a typical amount that you would bring to an event? Like, do you try to go for 700 every time, or
No.
how do you gauge how many you're going to bring to an event?
We kind of bring extra.
Okay.
And yeah, whatever we don't use, we're able to save them because they're
Awesome.
frozen, so we can save them.
That's dope,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And do you ever feel like obviously for the people that don't know the food truck that you guys specifically are in, it's not a huge truck.
It's not. It's tight.
It is I will say it's a very like nice modern new truck. Like when you look at it, like some of these food trucks, bro, it's like this thing is created in the fucking 80s or 90s. You know what I'm saying? This is a vintage
They
truck
call them
right here.
clankers.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm like, how does this thing even show up here? You know? And we have a food truck Friday, like right down here from the studio. And actually, no, I think it's on Tuesdays.
I thought it was
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Thursdays.
Yeah, something like that. It's a day during the week, and they've got the food trucks all out here.
How
You
are
see-
they? Do they get pretty busy?
No,
Yeah.
it's just this little community.
We've never done any apartment complexes. I get asked all the time, but it's just not worth it. For us
Yeah.
to do that.
Now, I mean, I think that, with you guys having their branding, it could stand a pretty good chance. But a lot of these guys, it's like, mom and pop, smaller people, whatever, and their trucks are beat to shit. But when I went to y'all's, it was really cool how, you had it was like a newer truck.
Thank you.
It was a little bit of a smaller truck. And I wanted to ask you guys, like, when you are pumping out 700 pretzels, how does it get in there, man? Is it a little cramped?
It's crammed. Yeah, we can fit 3 people. Like we usually have someone on register, someone working the ovens, and then kind of like a middleman who's just like finishing the orders, getting the dips, like plating it, dips, and then getting it out the window. We've done 4 people in there. We used to do fresh squeeze lemonade. We just launched our new package lemonades where we make them before and we're packaging all the lemonades ourselves.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. But we used to do it fresh squeezed. So we would actually have like a lemon squeezer with the syrup and everything, and that was crazy. And then we moved into where we would make it before, and we just had like a big, like one of the circulating gallons
For
things,
sure.
and then we'd pour them. But now we're doing them packaged.
Super dope,
Yeah.
man. And I think it's cool how you aren't really afraid to like go into these other markets too. Like, you were saying you just start off with normal pretzels, but then you're like, let's expand this menu a little bit and make it so that there's something for everybody, I guess. But no, the lemonade's obviously a great one. I mean, a fucking waff with some lemonade, bro.
Yeah,
You can't go wrong
I'm
with that
super
shit.
excited for the new packaged ones. They're really good. We got an Arnold Palmer one and a regular lemonade.
I think I saw you promoting that on the page.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looks
We
super
just started selling them this week, like Thursday.
super dope,
Yeah.
man. And a lot of the things that you guys are doing with your food truck, you can tell that you're definitely investing like the money up front, which I think a lot of people like, they just want to get into it like as quick and as cheap as possible.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much all the money we're making right now is going straight back.
you can
straight
tell
back
too.
into
The
it,
branding's
yeah.
incredible.
Thank you.
When you were going through and like choosing a logo and trying to do all these things, is this you doing all this, or did you kind of work with like a team to kind of
Pretty much
establish
just
this?
me.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. I had like a family friend who did the logo for me. He's like an awesome graphic designer, and he did that pretty much first try. Like I drew it on a napkin, showed him what I wanted, and sent it to him, and he was like, "Here's what I got." I was like,
so
perfect.
sick,
Yeah,
bro.
that's good.
I like the smoke too. It's like it goes with the hot box
Yeah,
very well.
Yeah.
What about the business side of this? So I don't want to get too deep into all the details you did to create this shit, but give me like a range, like when you went to go buy this truck, and then you're looking at like you got to wrap the truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to get your licensing, and you got to do all these things. Like where are you looking at as like an investment on this type of business?
You want to know like the amount?
I mean,
of
Like
money,
startup
or-
costs.
So the
If you're okay
startup
with
cost
sharing
was
it.
super low.
Okay.
The startup costs, I wanted to test it first.
Word.
I didn't want to throw in a bunch of money to not see if it even worked. So we bought a super small trailer. We have 2 food trucks.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah. We have a trailer that's a 6x10 trailer, super tiny, even smaller than the van.
Wow.
We did that first. I built that out, got it wrapped. We were all in around like 10,000 for
Oh, wow.
everything. Yeah, so super low costs, and I just like had that saved up just from working and stuff.
For sure.
So we put that in. We started making the pretzels, started selling out of that, and then that trailer just wasn't really working for us anymore. We couldn't keep up with the demand. So that's when my dad helped me out. He gave me a little loan to get the van.
Yeah.
And actually, interesting enough, he's going to be taking that van and starting another corporate location in South Florida.
No way.
Yeah. So he's going to be using that van that we've been using, and we're going to be getting another food truck.
Is it going to be
here.
a bigger van?
Yeah.
There
We're going to
you
get
go.
we're going to get something
dude.
bigger.
From the trailer to the XXL van, dude.
Yeah,
I fucking love it.
Yeah, we're going to get something bigger. I'm thinking maybe like a shuttle bus.
Dude, shut the fuck
and turning
up.
one of those into
That would be sweet.
Yeah,
That'd be fire.
because we eventually want to get into doing bigger music festivals like Tortuga, Sunfest.
Oh, dude.
And
Rolling
a shuttle
Loud.
bus with hot box pretzels on it.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Yeah. So we want to get into bigger stuff, and the van is not sufficient for that.
For sure, I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, we need a little more space in there, and the shuttle bus is cool because it has like that front door that opens up with the stairs that go out, and we're gonna turn that into where the register is, so it's fully out of the way of the entire back area. Because right now we have the register like in the middle of the van, kind
Yeah.
of. So like we're working around whoever's doing the register.
For sure. When you're working with a partner on this, is there ever like any kind of struggles with like just having 2 separate minds, 2 different entrepreneurs kind of going together on an idea, or you guys work pretty well together?
We work good together.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
we work good together.
Yeah, because that's one thing that with me and Joey, it was like I really wanted to bring someone onto this podcast that was going to kind of complement the show, but also is going to kind of have that same mindset and same like thought process that I have. And so yeah, I can totally attest to that, man. Like it's super important to make sure that your partner is like A1 right there with you. Just kind of same idea, if that makes sense.
Blake has a lot of trust in me because I have all the crazy ideas, and he just kind of trusts.
Blake seems
Trust
super
me.
chill.
Yeah.
I did speak with Blake whenever I went to whenever I tried the pretzels, and I was asking him a few questions, just trying to get an idea of like what is hot box pretzels. And it seems like a super chill individual.
Yeah, he's
Shout out
chill
Blake,
and
bro.
Laid back, yeah, and I have all the crazy ideas.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like me and Nick. Nick is the one like always shooting me ideas, and yeah, I'm always there like supporting him. But damn, like
Yeah, he's the one that nods his head and says, "Let's fucking do it."
Yeah,
he's
like
the one
I'm
that-
there.
He gives me that that confirmation, like, yeah, we're doing that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is gonna happen. That seal of approval from Joey Allen is what you lead.
that's what I'm here for.
So where do you think, I mean, you mentioned the Nocatee thing, like in Jacksonville specifically, what do you think is like the is the best hot spot for just a food truck in general, man?
So Riverside Arts Market, we just got into there. We've done it about 4 times this year.
I
so
heard it's
far.
hard to get into that event too.
We tried for like pretty much since we started.
Yeah.
But they do applications. They open it up at the beginning of the year. So we started in February of last year. So we didn't get the application, and we were nowhere ready to be there. I'm happy we didn't get in till now. I mean, we put our application in a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And I actually brought pretzels to the guy who owned it. We had like a Saturday off, so I went down there and brought him pretzels. And I was
awesome.
like, "You got to try these pretzels. We want to come here." And then a week later, he's like, "Hey, you guys want to come?" I was like, "Yeah,
I love it,
We're
dude.
in, yeah." So we've been doing that. We're kind of on just like a rotating schedule, just kind of filling in there. It works out to like every other week right now,
Yeah.
and it's crazy.
So that's been kind of like the biggest, like the hot spot for sure. Because you can tell. I mean, actually, I've had a couple entrepreneurs on the show where they've been trying to get their brand like displayed at Riverside Arts Market. But like you were saying, the wait list, man, is insane.
it's crazy.
And they only allow a number of each kind of industry, if that makes sense. Like,
Not even like a number. It's usually just like one.
really?
Yeah, it's like
Oh my
one.
God.
Yeah, like if you walk around there, there's not a big diverse selection of tents. Like at the 904 pop-up, like they have everything, and they have
For sure.
like pretty much anyone who wants to come, which is cool that there's one like that. But then this one's more like specialized, exclusive. And I think that's a big reason of why it is so popular. And they've also been doing it for a while. I think they've been doing it for like almost 10 years now. Or it's been going on for a while. So they've kind of built up that.
How many events do you guys normally go to? I was looking on your page, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like 5 a month?
No, way more than that.
Really?
We do like 4 a week.
Oh, no way. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
4 a week. We just started getting into more neighborhood stuff.
Yeah.
So like on Thursday night this week, I went down to a neighborhood like off I-10, and we'll go from like 5 to 8 and just
that's cool.
sell some pretzels. And we actually do pretty good, way better than I would have thought.
Really?
Is this your only, like your full-time job?
Yeah.
Like, this is what you do?
Full time.
Okay, so do you feel like that there's a little bit more of a risk factor too when you're doing something like that, where it's like, if not necessarily if this fails you're fucked, but more so in the sense of like, if you any money you make with this business, you have to funnel it back into the business and use it to keep growing Hot Box Pretzels. You know what I mean? Is there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm young. My expenses are pretty
100%.
pretty low still.
For sure.
I mean, I don't have like any crazy payments or anything. So
Yeah.
like I make enough to pay everything and not live a crazy lifestyle.
Yeah, shout
but-
out to you, bro. I think it's super cool. And you know, like I said, dude, the fucking business plan, the business model is incredible.
Thank
I
you.
mean, just with, you know, the van you guys have now, I'm sure it does get pretty good. It looks like a newer van. I'm sure it gets
Yeah,
good mileage.
we actually
for what
don't
it
even
is.
really drive it that much because like the events are usually every event is like 30 minutes away. So like
Word, okay.
it's driving at 30 minutes. Like it drives like a couple hours a week. Maybe.
And how much prep goes into before you go to an event and you've got to like kind of cook these pretzels and get them all like ready to go in a sense?
So I actually just ordered a manufacturing machine that's going to be able to start helping us make these pretzels.
Cool.
That's going to help us aid doing another truck because right now we're making them all by hand, and it takes a while to make them by hand.
Imagine, bro.
And I ran a bunch of the numbers, and this machine, over paying someone to make them, the machine can make 10 times what a human can in like 20 minutes. So this machine's going to be able to make like 200 an hour, I want to say. Around
And
there.
what are you doing now?
Like 30.
Really? That's
30,
crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because we do them in batches of 30 pretzels. So we'll do like a ball of dough that's like this big, and we'll make about 30. And they're giant too, and we put 3 per tray. So like if you're doing a traditional pretzel, you can fit 24 on a tray or something like that. We only cook 3 per tray because they have to. They take up a lot of room on the trays.
sure.
Yeah, so we cook like in the ovens. We can cook like 9 at a time. Where if you had like other pretzels, you could cook bunch at a time.
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit longer, but with this machine, it's going to make it.
And what's the deal with the queso? Is the queso homemade as well? Because that queso is fucking bust down Tatiana, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, that fucking queso goes. Dude, that queso goes hard, bro.
So we buy a special mix for the queso, and then we roast up some vegetables and peppers, and we kind of make it our own.
Word, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to make the queso.
Good.
And what's good about the queso we buy is it comes in like a can, so it's not cold. And if we made it ourselves, we just wouldn't have enough room.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to have fridges big enough to carry enough queso cold.
Yeah,
It'd just be
I feel
impossible.
you.
We tried it. We used to make it ourselves, and we just couldn't keep up with it anymore.
I mean, dude,
It's awesome.
It was
I love
amazing
it.
for me,
It's-
bro.
yeah,
I
it's
fucking-
good.
And I'm a big queso guy. So like for me, like if I've always done like the pretzels and beer cheese. Anytime you go out anywhere and they got pretzels and beer cheese
Yeah.
on the menu, bro, I got to get it.
Yeah.
But no, you mentioned the Oktoberfest, that being like one of your best markets. Like, dude, that is your market.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? That's
October alone was crazy.
Yeah.
October like 3 times every other month.
Are you guys going to try to do anything with TPC? Try to take over the original, we're the new pretzels in town, essentially, from where you started.
It's funny you say that. I actually thought about it the other day. Once I get this machine, so like back to like the 5-year plan. Once I get this machine, I want to be bigger than just the pretzels. I want to be like a pretzel manufacturer.
Word, okay.
Like I want to have 20 of these machines running, making pretzels for restaurants,
oh my God.
snack bars.
You want to
trucks.
supply the world with pretzels.
Yeah. I just want to do pretzels.
Whaffs.
Yeah.
Now, this is probably going to be a dumbass question, but is it possible to do pretzel buns as well?
So it's funny you say that. Have you heard of hard press burgers before?
We've been trying to get them on the show. Love that.
Yeah, super cool guys. They actually I put up a little question thing on Instagram, and they asked if we could do pretzel buns for them. So after this, I'm actually going to the kitchen right now.
No way.
To go make some pretzel buns for them and bring them over there. I haven't made them yet, but I mean it can't be too hard. It's just
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's the same concept. I just gotta play
So
with the different
cool, bro.
things. Yeah, so I'm actually gonna go bring them some and see.
Let us
see how
know when that
goes.
gets solidified. 'Cause
Yeah.
I want to try that shit
Yeah.
for real.
Little collab.
Do you ever Like, do you want to get into all kinds of pretzels? Like, even like, the hard, like crunchier pretzels?
No, that's totally different.
Got you.
Yeah,
okay.
this machine I got is just soft pretzels.
Okay, got you. And I feel like, dude, who doesn't love pretzels? Like we were saying in the beginning, like, fuck, you can go to a carnival with this shit. You could go to anywhere, dude, and people are going to just like, I mean, I'm always craving a fucking pretzel. I'm craving a pretzel right fucking now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, literally, dude, it's the business model is incredible.
Thank you.
Shout out to you. It's really fun watching you guys' journey because, like, you're so young and, dude, when people are fucking, you get lost in the sauce, bro. It's like you just get content. You know what I mean? It's it's just like how, me and Joey were whenever we were fucking 21. Like, you kind of come up with an idea and you make like, you hit like these first couple milestones and then you're just over with it. Because you're like, oh, I did what I needed to do. You know what I mean? But the fact that you keep evolving and everything, man, I think it's super dope. And dude, just fucking round of applause to you, bro. Because I think it's really cool for sure. No, but let's go ahead and jump into Joey's favorite segment, Joey's top 3.
Let's do it.
So Joey's top 3 going down right here, right now. You got a good one for us today, brother?
I do have a good one.
So should we explain to the guest what Joey's top 3 is?
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I ask you whatever your top 3 is, and you give it to me.
Yep.
Got it.
So this week, I'm going to do, in the spirit of pretzels, your top 3 carnival foods.
That's
Carnival
good.
foods.
That's good.
It's not pretzels or pretzels if you're at a carnival, but
Yeah.
not anyone else's pretzels. But corn dogs.
Okay.
I like a good corn dog.
In order, it's got to be 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so we'll do corn dog 3.
Okay.
Number 2 are those big boxes of the chocolate chip cookies, or like the buckets,
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
and they give you like just a bunch
forgot
of
about those.
chocolate chip cookies.
Legendary.
And number 1, probably a good funnel cake.
Yep.
Just simple.
Oh,
That's
wait,
it.
how do you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
got to be funnel
Yeah,
cake,
just a
right?
good funnel cake.
I think that those are solid. The funnel cake one, I was going to put funnel cake as an honorable mention on mine, but I think funnel cake actually might be 3 because for me, most times when I get the funnel cake, it's like, do you ever feel like the funnel is it like too fried or something? It's like so. Sometimes, bro, I get a funnel cake though, and it's like
You know what? I actually changed my answer. Fried Oreos.
Shut up.
I
Stop
love
it. Damn
fried
it.
Oreos.
legend. That is a good
Those
one.
over funnel cakes.
That is a good
I
one.
love fried Oreos.
I think for mine, I'm gonna go. I like corn dog for sure. I like popcorn. I don't know why it does get stuck in my teeth sometimes because I got the permanent retainer. But the corn dogs are solid. I mean, popcorn is solid for sure. Man, and I'm kind of a sucker for an ice cream cone. I don't know why. Like if we're at the carnival, dude, and you just kind of need like
It's too messy. Like, I don't want to walk around with
Yeah.
it.
Facts. That's actually a good point.
I mean, don't let me change your mind.
No,
Damn.
but you're right. I mean, that's a good. You mentioned you make a good point. I think my number 1 would have to be. I'm not gonna steal funnel cake because oh boy,
Don't steal mine either.
I know you're
Don't
too.
steal
You got a good ass one that I'm gonna let you tee off on. But no, I think my last one. I don't think you can go wrong with like a good slice of fucking pizza when you're out at the carnival. You know what I mean?
It's always a
just
big-ass
big
slice.
ass
Yeah.
slice too. You know what I'm saying? Like pepperoni sausage, something like that. No, go ahead, hit this shit out of the park, brother.
I mean, it ain't nothing special. But number 3, I'm going to keep it at fried Oreo. That's solid. You never get that anywhere else but the carnival.
Hell no.
Number 2, this is the hitter, is a turkey leg. Well,
Okay.
I love them big ass
Yeah,
turkey
those are good.
legs. And I love walking around with them. You
Yeah.
just feel like a badass. Like if anybody tries it,
Yeah.
you just hit them with it. And then,
Now it's $18.50, but yeah,
yeah, I know it is $20 for a little piece of meat,
Yeah.
but fuck it, it's good. It's a weapon too. It's just like
Facts.
2 in 1.
Facts.
And then number 1 all time funnel cake for sure. Gotta be.
I have an honorable mention. Last little honorable mention at the end. Nachos.
Yeah,
I'm a
I'm
sucker.
lactose intolerant. so-
I don't like the nacho cheese. Like just
Really?
the orange. Like
True, yeah.
yeah. I don't like.
It's a little too cheesy.
Yeah, the
something
fake
about-
nacho cheese I don't like.
Brother, something about that fake nacho cheese. I don't know.
You
Like
like
at the
the-
movie theater, I do kind of fuck with it. I don't know why. It kind of reminds me of like the Taco Bell cheese.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because at Taco Bell, there's not a ton of things. Like, dude, I'll smack them fucking Taco
Do you
Bell.
put extra butter on your popcorn too?
Oh, dude. Do you not?
No.
What?
I don't really eat popcorn like that.
Okay, see, dude, I go as much butter as they can put on that motherfucker. You know what I mean? I don't want it like standing butter in there, but
But
like,
you want it soggy.
brother, if we're at
That's
that,
gross.
we're at that movie theater, bro, load me up with that butter machine for real. No, those are that's a good top 3 for sure. I like the fried Oreos. Little shout out
fried
there. That was
Oreos.
good. But no, man, let's jump back into this shit. So with the food truck, there's a few things that I wanted to ask you about. Obviously, anytime you're creating like something to do with food. Now, me and Joey have never even stepped into this kind of industry before or tried to do anything. So some of these questions might come off as a little stupid, but do you have to get any like FDA like approval or anything to sell food to people?
No FDA
Okay.
approval. The new business I'm starting, we're going to start shipping the pretzels. That I do have to get FDA approved.
Gotcha.
That has to be a bunch of different stuff, and it's through a whole different licensing department. Right now, I'm through DPBR, which is I
For sure.
know.
Yeah.
I don't even know that. But they just do like the food truck.
Okay.
They'll come and like watch us make the pretzels sometimes at the commissary where we cook them just to like make sure we're doing the right processes and stuff. But
Gotcha.
we're pretty simple. Like there's a lot of people cooking with raw chicken, raw meat, raw eggs, like all that
100%.
kind of stuff where we don't have any of that. So we're like way the lowest level of any type of regulations or anything.
That's cool, and it's very simple, like what you were saying too. So it's like it's a pretzel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you don't have to show them how you make this and this and this and this and this. Like as long as they know how to make the pretzel, like you're good. You know? Super dope, bro. And I feel like that's where a lot of problems would come in, is having to get those FDA like approvals and shit. I mean, you see it all the time, bro.
Yeah.
It's like some of these companies, like someone will start like a seltzer company, or they'll start like this or that, and it's one of them things where, I mean, they'll be waiting for years to get these approvals and these patents and whatever, you know. What's that process like for you whenever you're going about this new?
So I think it's pretty simple. A lady at our commissary actually just went through it, and I asked her a bunch of questions about it. She has like these mac and cheese bites that she does. She actually got them like on QVC.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So she was in there like making like, I think she got an order of like 40,000 of these boxes of mac and cheese bites that
Holy
she made.
shit.
So she was in there like a bunch. She actually just did it. The main inspection is actually of the kitchen to make sure the equipment's up to date, and they just did it for her. So it should be pretty
cool.
easy for us.
That's dope, and probably just to make sure that everything's clean and
They just come through and they just watch your process. And our process doesn't involve any raw ingredients really, so it's super easy.
Yeah, I don't want to get too into like all the specific ingredients that go into it, but how many ingredients is there in the pretzels that you're making?
Seven
Seven okay.
ingredients.
Damn, that's pretty simple. I was thinking.
Yeah, no, it's nothing.
And no like raw egg or anything
No
like
eggs,
that? Or?
no milk. We put a little bit of butter, but
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then do you guys do like a melted butter like layer whenever you're doing just the salted ones?
Yeah. So that's how we stick the salt on there, is through the melted butter.
Yeah, you could taste it a little bit too whenever you're eating that good salted
Yeah, and we
pretzel.
don't put a lot. The pretzels are actually fairly healthy too. They're not
Really?
Yeah, I ran like the nutritional facts on them, and it's about like 60 calories for a pretzel.
For the whole pretzel?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for the whole
and
pretzel.
technically
Yeah.
it's 4 sticks. So, I mean, you're talking about like it not even being like
Yeah, the
20
queso.
calories.
The queso is definitely not.
That's the
For-
killer.
Queso is where it gets you.
I see.
Yeah, and any other traditional pretzel places, they dump their whole pretzel in like a bath of butter, where we just brush it on top. So we're not like fully drenching it in butter.
Gotcha. Is there ever kind of a sense of, obviously, I don't think so because everyone loves pretzels, but do you ever feel like you're almost putting yourself in a box by just doing the pretzels for now?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think so either. I just didn't know
Yeah.
if it was a thought process for you because it's so simple, right? It's like,
And I have people all the time recommending me things I should do, but like I just want to keep it
Pretzels.
right in pretzels.
is there
Yeah.
a flavor that you guys are working on that you haven't released yet that we could drop on here? Like any specific kind of,
The main thing was the lemonades that
Yeah.
we've been working on. Yeah, no, we're just keeping the menu. We do like little seasonal ones here and there.
was there one where it's like a Parmesan or something? Or
The
it's
garlic
like
Parmesan
Oh,
one.
dude,
yeah,
I want
That
to
one
try
sounds
Yeah, that
good.
one's good.
Dude, I
Yeah,
wanna
that
try
one's
it
really
so
good. And we actually just updated the menu too. Now the cinnamon one comes with an icing dip,
Ooh.
and the garlic parm comes with marinara dip.
Oh, legendary.
Yeah.
Do you ever get tired of eating pretzels?
No.
Really?
No.
Do you?
I don't eat them that much.
Okay.
I don't want to get sick of them, so I don't eat them all the time. But usually, if we're like a lot of the places when we go to these neighborhoods, we'll be like the only food truck, and it's like dinner time, so I'll usually just eat a pretzel.
Yeah.
How much of your time does this business kind of take, man? Are you
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Is it
All of the
difficult to
time
kind of
I
like
have.
maintain also just living a normal, like just having a fun lifestyle and just living life?
It is fun for me.
Yeah.
It's fun for me to work on it. Yeah,
that's
like
how it
when I
should
can
be.
go sit in my office and just work, it's like I'm having fun.
I love it,
Yeah.
dude, and that's how we feel about this too. So it's like it doesn't when work doesn't feel like work. It is
It's
kind of
awesome.
your life.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm right there with you, bro. I totally agree.
Yeah, I was just in Nicaragua on a surf trip for a week. I just got back like 2 days ago. And I
Oh,
was
you
like-
surf as well?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
we got
We
paddle out
surf.
sometime.
Yeah, and I was so excited to get home to work.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And did you expect for the business to be where it is? Like obviously we're all big dreamers, especially me and Joey with this pod. Did you expect for your business to be where it is right now in this short period of time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I would think we're a little more ahead of what I thought.
Uh-huh.
But pretty on par.
And whenever you were first getting into this, what was like the biggest struggles that you kind of faced whenever, with creating any business, there's going to be struggles, obviously, that you're not expecting.
Yeah, nothing like really monumental that like could have stopped us. Really, it's gone pretty smooth the whole way. I would say just money, having enough money to keep putting as much and doing the things I want to do.
I've got no idea about this, but do you have to pay people to pop up at their events?
Yes.
Like, so you have to pay them to have a spot at this festival. It's going to be bringing people.
So there's two ends of it. So if people ask us to come out and we're not sure of the event, we'll give them a minimum. Like, we're not coming unless we clear $500.
And then if you don't, they have to pay the rest of what you didn't clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where these other music festivals will pay up to $1,000 plus 10%.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus 10% of your earnings.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But there's like, I mean, you don't have a choice.
No, for sure. Does it get difficult to draw a profit from some of those events? Like, I mean,
no, not really. I mean, that'll be for like a 3-day.
True. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
3-day. Usually, like an expensive one day is around $300. Where we'll always like make a profit. Like sometimes we'll not make. Like sometimes by the time like all of our expenses and I pay people to work a 12-hour day and we paid $300 and we'll like make a little money, but like I'm not getting rich from that.
Got
on
you.
that one day. Like,
if you don't mind me asking, what are the profit margins on each pretzel?
it's a lot.
It is. I was going to say, because they are priced. They're priced very fair, but they're also it's a super big pretzel.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, people see $12 all the time, and they're like, "It's a little much for a pretzel." But I mean, it feeds like 3 people.
For
I
sure,
mean, nowhere you can really eat 3 people.
I couldn't even finish my. I had a whole one for myself. I couldn't.
Yeah,
even finish
I've never ate a whole one myself.
Really? Okay.
No. Yeah, I've never eaten a whole one myself. But the profit margins are good. But there's a lot of other expenses that people will say like, "Oh, how much are your profit margins?" Like it's like around 70% on the pretzels.
Awesome.
But we have so many other.
You're paying for gas, the commissary, all this stuff.
The commissary, the to-go boxes, the bags, the mustards, like it might not be a lot. Like you might spend $50 on this thing, but then it all adds up.
One thing that I noticed is you guys actually use Nutella on your cinnamon pretzels. Shout out to you for that.
I love Nutella.
I'm a fucking Nutella is the best, bro.
Yeah, I hate the fake chocolate syrup, so I was like, we're gonna just buy Nutella.
Is there ever a different, like, would you ever like to do the same model but with a different type of food down the road?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe down the road. Right now, it's
funnel cakes,
just pretzels.
No, I like.
It would have to be something that no one else is doing. Yeah, because there's so much competition with the food trucks, and I've noticed that since we are pretzels, like we rarely get said no to events. Just because no one else is.
Do you have people that are driving to whatever event you're at just for the pretzels? Oh my God, dude. Yeah. Because my dad, I think we talked about it beforehand, but my dad's obsessed with y'all. And so this is kind of like, shout out to my pops, man. This is kind of a big episode for him too. I know he's going to be watching this. And he actually, when he was trying out y'all's pretzels, it was at the Riverside Arts Market. And he went back like 2 or 3 times because he's just awesome. Like, he just loves it, man. And so thank you for making him happy.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys too where he loves like a lot of German foods. He loves the pretzels and beer cheese, and technically it's queso though. It's not beer cheese. What you guys
so ours they're definitely not the traditional pretzel.
Okay.
A traditional German pretzel is pretty significantly different from us.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Ours have a different bottom, a little bit of a different texture. Like a true traditional pretzel has that like lye bath, which is what makes it brown.
Okay.
Like all around. Like underneath, everywhere. We have a little bit of a different process that we use that kind of makes ours more unique than that.
Cool.
And they're a little bit crispier too.
Yours are or the German ones?
Ours are.
Okay,
yeah. Like the German ones are super soft, but we like cook them in the oven and we leave them a little longer so they kind of get a little crispier on the outside and soft on the inside. I really like it too, and it's just something different.
Yeah, no, 100%. And what is the most amount of salt that somebody has had asked to have on their pretzel? Is there people that are like, load me up with that salt?
Yeah, not salt, but we've had some weird orders.
Really?
Like we've had some really weird orders. Just like people order like a pizza one and then just get like a side of icing. Or like,
ew.
Oh my God.
Or like a cinnamon one and ask for like queso. I don't know if it's like they're confused or something or what, but like.
Oh, they're confused.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just taking that shit home and like eating it with chips or something.
Yeah, with something else. Yeah, but we've had some crazy orders. We're like, are you sure you want that? Like, you know what you're ordering.
I asked for queso with the pizza one because I knew I was going to be getting a regular one as well. But the
queso's good with all of them.
Yeah, and
you can dip any of them in queso. Other than the sweet ones, any of them are good with queso.
Your partner definitely looked at me like, all right, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know where you're going with this, but hey, if you pay for it, you got it, brother. You know what I'm saying? No, but super fair price point. Huge fan of everything you guys are doing, man. The business model is legendary, dude. I mean, it's great when you've got a dope ass product around it too. Like, I mean, that shit's good, dog. Thank you so much. And I did notice, I was kind of eyeballing the truck a little bit whenever I was, getting pretzel. On the side, it says, as seen on two different things, like up flip, I think is something.
Yeah,
and then,
so up flip and then news for Jacks.
News for Jacks, yeah. And so, I'll get you an OG Sessions podcast sticker. We can put on there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just want to keep building up.
Keep building it up, bro, 100%. And it just, I'm honored to have you guys on the show, man, because you're so young, bro, and just you carry yourself very well in this business, and the model you guys have, it's we look up to it for sure.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, you guys keep crushing it, man. It's really fun watching y'all's journey for sure. For you, what is your favorite part about owning this food truck, about the process, about this journey?
Definitely the amount of people I've met. Because I moved to Jacksonville to go to school at UNF, and I didn't know anyone really in Jacksonville, and now I know so
Where are you
many
from?
People. I'm from South Florida.
Oh, word, okay.
Yeah, Deerfield Beach area.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
So I grew up there, like a little surf town, worked at like a surf shop growing up. And then when I came here, I didn't really know anyone. And just through the food truck, I've met so many people.
Yeah.
Made so many good connections. And even now, I'm like starting to have people reach out from all over the U.S. and just meeting so many people.
That's dope.
What's the farthest you guys would drive to go and do a Hot Box Pretzels event?
So we actually went down to South Florida a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
The surf shop that I used to work at, Island Water Sports Surf Shop, I grew up there working, I think I worked there for like 3 or 4 years in high school. And we went and did their holiday party there, which was pretty cool.
Is that kind of like cool for you too to go back, kind of flex? You're like, I'm doing something with my life,
Yeah, a lot of the people I used to work with and like all the owners there, it was super cool to see everyone.
That's awesome, dude. We got to all paddle out soon, man.
Yeah,
and And this has been a great conversation. I enjoy talking to you very much. But the conversations you have out there in the ocean with your boys, man, you can't beat that shit, brother. So, man, I appreciate you coming on here and just kind of sharing a little bit of your story and just keep crushing it, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
And shout out to your partner as well, man. You guys are both. You guys, the customer service is incredible.
That's the number one thing.
Yeah.
Customer service. Yeah. I actually just did like a little Instagram post. Someone's like, how important is like the branding and all this? And I was like, honestly, good product and customer service.
Yeah.
Over the branding. Obviously, the branding's super, super important, but that kind of means nothing.
Even if you guys had shitty pretzels, bro, I'd still want to support you guys because of how nice and how kind and how you guys present yourself with the business too. So, definitely relate with you on that, bro. And, man, let's plug these people in. So where can they follow, your journey and everything like that?
So Instagram is the main thing. Our Instagram syncs with our Facebook, so everything's updated on both of those. It's just at Hotbox Pretzels.
That's awesome.
And then hotboxpretzels.com. We do a bunch of private events. We do weddings, corporate events, pretty much anything. Anything you want pretzel that we can be there.
You pay, we're there. 100%.
Yeah, so we have like a little form on there where people can fill that out and get us.
That's
awesome.
To come
to the events, but we are like super booked out. We're like fully booked through April.
And if people follow you on Instagram, they're going to be able to see like, okay, you're popping up here today.
Yeah, we post our schedule.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we post our schedule every week.
Well, me and Joey will probably see you next Friday. I think that might be the move because I'm dying to try a cinnamon pretzel.
Yeah,
or cinnamon waff. I'm sorry,
the cinnamon one with the Nutella on top is
legendary.
I'm so hungry now.
No, the business model is incredible, man.
Thank you.
Joe, is there anything else you got for the man before we?
I just want to give you your props. I mean, I see you hustling. I think it's cool as hell. You are a young guy. Both of you guys are young, so keep doing that shit.
Thank you.
Very unique product too. It's like what you were saying. Not a lot of people doing this. It's cool that you were able to look at this market and be like, okay, there's a void here that I'm ready to fill. You know?
I always knew I wanted to start my own business. I had like a little pressure washing business before this.
Oh, word. Okay.
And I actually got like super busy doing that. So that's when I dropped out of UNF. I started doing that full time, and then the pretzel idea came, and I was like, all right, that's what I'm going to, because the pressure washing, there's a million people pressure washing.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Yeah, I wanted to grow that, and I was like, I'm going to grow this huge.
I mean, at some point, you've pressure washed all the driveways.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I was just kind of waiting for something else, and this came along, and I was like, that's it.
I was going to mention, is there ever a desire to have like your own Hotbox Pretzel storefront down the road? Now, because if we're being honest, bro, the brick and mortar kind of concept has been declining for years now.
Now, if I could get a small space in like Jack's Beach, like down at the beach bars, if I could have a little 800 square foot little square to sell pretzels out of, I might consider it. If the rent's so expensive.
Yeah, that's just not going to be cheap.
Where I can bring my food truck to thousands of people.
Yeah.
No, thousands of people aren't going to come in my store.
True.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, and pretzels is a thing. That's why like Auntie Anne's is so successful in all those, is because they've brought them to the malls and the airports. They don't have any stores that aren't in malls or airports.
True.
They're only in those stores to where people are walking by.
It's one of those things too. Like if you had the storefront, I know once I've gone there once or twice, I've already had it, and so it's like the experience is there. I've done it. It's happened. But for me, if I'm ever at an event like on the weekend and I see Hot Box Pretzels, I'm like, dude, I got to catch it because you know how often you're going to get it.
Yeah. Or if it's a storefront, you can go whenever, and then people lose that of
for sure
wanting to go.
100%. Wow. Yeah, that's a good point, bro. I just wanted to mention it because it's like you guys are doing so well with the food truck.
And pretzels is a weird food too. It's not like a dinner. It's
just like something to eat.
Yeah, it's just like something to eat when you don't have anything to eat.
Yeah,
and that's where the food truck.
When is the best time to have a waff?
Whenever.
There's not a bad time.
Whenever. I've eaten them at 8 in the morning. I've eaten them at 3 in the morning.
I was going to say 2 o'clock, after partying with the boys all night, go home and consume some of that alcohol with a pretzel, absorb some of that alcohol for sure.
Yeah.
And, man, shout out to you. I really appreciate you coming on the show, man. It's been a legendary interview. And just keep pushing.
Thank you.
It's fun watching, all the guests that come on the show kind of just like keep doing their own journey and keep, pursuing their passion and what they love to do. And what you guys have is it's like a gold mine, it seems like, with what you guys have already created. So shout out Hot Box Pretzels. Any of our viewers, man, if you guys haven't seen Hot Box Pretzels yet, if you haven't tried it, is at least follow the boy on Instagram, man. Check out that menu.
We'll post everywhere we'll be at.
Shit's legendary.
We're all around too. So if you see we're not close to you one week, in the next couple of weeks we'll probably be.
And I think it's like 16% of our listeners are in Jacksonville. So a lot of some of the people that are listening to this, they're already in Jacksonville. They can catch you whenever. If you're from out of state or you're from just like a different city in Florida, like don't be afraid to come up here and test this shit. Even if you're in South Florida, we got a food truck that's gonna be open.
Probably end of April we're looking at.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, so pretty soon. And for all you out of state people, we are going to start shipping them pretty soon through another business actually, but we'll be launching that through Hot Box Pretzels. Nice. So you'll be able to see it there. And that's probably, once we get this pretzel machine in, we'll be able to start production on that.
That's going to be interesting, man. And I can't,
that I think could actually be way bigger than the food truck.
I'd love to have you back on once you get a couple of months of that under your belt, because that is, we were talking about it a little bit off air. I don't want to leak too many details, but such a difficult concept, right? Like just trying to...
it's difficult, but I think it could be way bigger.
For sure.
Way bigger, because I can sell them 24/7. Right now, I sell them like a couple hours. If you put all the time, like we're actually selling the pretzels together in a week, it's only about like, if we're doing like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, it's really not that much time, where this online is 24/7.
100%.
People can order them at any hour of the day.
I love it, bro. And one final question before we get out of here. For the people that are watching this that maybe they have the desire to start a food truck, not a pretzel food truck or whatever it is. What's a piece of advice that you would give to those people that just want to believe themselves to do their own thing the way that you guys are doing it at such a young age?
Definitely look for something unique, because I've seen a lot of people try to start food trucks, and there's already successful ones, and it's just hard. It's just hard to break in because these people already have such a set fan base. Like just if you're a taco truck, like if you have a good idea for tacos, you have to be doing something that's super unique to really
stand out.
Yeah, to stand out. Yeah, and get to that next level. And that's why I really went for it with the pretzels, because I didn't really have much competition at all.
For sure.
So I knew like if it's not successful, then it's the pretzels.
I want to piggyback off that and say also do your due diligence and your research, bro. Like what you did, where you kind of went and you looked at Auntie Anne's and you looked at some of these other companies that do pretzels as well, but they're just it's like such a small market. There's like very few people you got to do research on, but at the same time, you did that research and you kind of saw like, okay, here's how we could be different from them.
Yeah.
And here's where we could thrive and what market we could thrive in. And I love the pretzel concept because like we said at the beginning of the episode, who the fuck doesn't like pretzels, bro? It's amazing, dude. It's great. It's like kids can have it. Adults can have it. Anything. It's not like a specific, there's no real, there's no, it's humans, bro.
And it's just such a, like we can put anything on it.
Shit, we can give that shit to my dog, honestly.
It's such a, like, it's just a blank canvas, and we have so many flavor ideas, like so many, dope, that we just have so many on our menu, and everyone loves them already, that we haven't really been doing too many seasonal ones, but we'll probably start doing some more.
Do you guys sell merch as well, or is this just, okay.
Yeah, we sell the hats, and we have some shirts that we sell, some hoodies,
Well, you guys keep doing your thing,
Thank
man.
you.
I love watching you guys. Thanks
you.
again for coming on the show, man.
thanks for
Legendary
having me.
episode. Joe, you got anything else?
That's it.
Boys, make sure if you're watching this episode, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. I already said it, but make sure y'all check out Hotbox Pretzels, man. So fucking good.
Thank you.
And just great branding. It's always so fun to get behind a couple of young guys that are actually doing something. You know what I mean? It's one thing to just have the food truck. I mean, I'd already applaud y'all if you guys had a food truck at the age you're at, but just with the way you do it, people would think that this is a fucking like enterprise. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
yeah. People ask us all the time if we're a franchise. I'm like,
yeah, it really does kind of strike
just
me as that
doing
really
it.
like,
and that's kind of I wanted to build it to look like that
For sure.
so it can be that eventually.
and does that final thing, does that, if you were to have somebody in that's going to run like another truck somewhere else, is that kind of a hard selection process to choose someone that has that same drive that you have?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like my baby and I don't want someone to mess it up. So
Sure.
it's definitely going to be hard. And the whole franchising thing, it's not too close. It's a huge process.
Yeah.
It's tons of capital that you have to have. And yeah, it's just something down the road.
Yeah, you guys are doing great, man. Keep
Yeah,
pushing
thank
with it. And like I said, all my viewers, go check out y'all's pretzels. Make sure you try some. And also, if you guys are enjoying this episode on Patreon, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you're showing love on these episodes, man, because they get better every single fucking week. And this week is no exception.
Nope.
So, OGs, we will see y'all next week. We are out.
Peace.